The evidence is now overwhelming. People and communities, organisations and businesses recognise that we now need to tackle multiple challenges simultaneously. The climate and nature crisis, the public health crisis, and now a green recovery following the pandemic. As we race down to 2030, it is clear food and farming needs to change, and now is the time.
So we took the opportunity at Groundswell to gather diverse and influential voices from the food and farming world. And we asked them what they felt needed to happen to prioritise and speed the change to a more sustainable and fair farming system.
I think the first thing we've got to do as farmers actually is better reflect on what is it we deliver for the public. How do we reflect society's values? How farmers are on that journey to net zero.
We need to capture more carbon, but we still need to grow more food. We want to reduce the sprays and fertilisers that we use, so therefore a more organic type system with herbal A's.
There's an awful lot to do, but I guess the fundamentals is getting the economics of farming right, so that it's a no-brainer for us as farmers and the rest of the food system to be doing the right things rather than doing the wrong things.
We already have farmers doing amazing things, so all we need is a policy environment that supports the brilliant stuff that they want to do. So we need long-termism in policy.
It's about getting the incentives and the support system right, and make sure that the new schemes that we're bringing in are workable and that they are attractive to farmers.
And what we really want to see is farmers feeling informed, empowered, enthused about producing environmental goods on their land alongside the food and other goods that they already produce, so that we think of productivity in a much rounder sense than we do now.
What we really need to do is to look at our whole land use in a holistic way. Particularly focus on healthy soil is going to be almost the number one for farming. And with that, tackling our water quality.
There's a growing understanding that regenerative agriculture, where you recognise the importance of the soil and soil health and things like the mycorrhizal activity that takes place there, and recognise the value of our soils to hold carbon and reduce soil erosion. Understanding of this is really being rekindled.
We must be focusing on nature within our farming systems. We have to be focusing on interconnecting not just our own farms, but all of the other farms as well.
So the solution is to begin to have a connection with nature. And the solution is all about that fundamental connection with nature. The simplest connection with nature is food.
We need to really start analysing the nutritional content of better produced food so that the consumer knows it's better food. We need to promote farmers and what they're doing, but we absolutely have to value what they're doing and pay them for it.
We've got all the information that we need. We can keep getting better, but we can do all this from tomorrow. And I think that really, to speed things up, we need consumer education as an absolute priority.
I think the number one thing would be to get off the cheaper food paradigm notion that cheaper food is always better than more expensive food, in terms of we should aim to make farmers grow more and make prices cheaper year on year on year.
The future needs to be much more about investment in a dynamic industry. The information is out there now. We need an excited, inspired younger generation to drive that message forwards.
So you've been hearing from people from all around the country with all sorts of different perspectives who have one really important thing in common. They recognise that right now we need radical and practical change. So it's time for us all to come together in an unstoppable movement for that change. The time is now.